To access and edit the Automap library, you can either select the Automap library icon from the MS Main Control toolbar, or you can select MS Traverse from the top of the screen, scroll down to Automap System, and select Automap Library. This will open the Automap Library editing system. Here you will see the location of your current Automap library, as well as a list of descriptions contained in that library. If a point in your project is given one of these descriptions, then whatever settings are associated with that description, whether it be shape, color, or so on, will also be applied to that point. Please note that the default library is mscad.csv and comes with NavCom Survey CAD. Clicking on one of the descriptions will display what symbol is associated with that description if there is one. Underneath the preview of the symbol, there are 5 buttons. The New button will allow you to create a new description. Edit allows you to edit one of the existing descriptions. Rename lets you rename a description. Delete will delete the description. And Copy allows you to copy a pre-existing description to a new name, should you want to base a new description off one that already exists. Below these buttons are several options. First is New Library. This button will blank out the list of descriptions and give you a blank library to create your own presets in. Open Library will allow you to open a different Automap library file from the default one. Please note that if you do not select New Library prior to selecting Open Library, NavCom Survey CAD will merge the list of descriptions with the list that is currently displayed. Save Library will take your current list of descriptions and save it out into an Automap library file using whatever name you choose for the Automap library file name. Scan Database will scan your current project for a list of descriptions that are already present in it and create an Automap library file from those descriptions. Again, if you want your Automap file to be just the descriptions that Scan Database locates in your project, then you need to press the New Library button. Otherwise, the descriptions from your project will be merged with the descriptions which already exist in your Open Library file. The Help button will bring up a help screen about your Automap library. The Process All Connections button will apply all the settings associated with the descriptions to all the points in your project that have those descriptions. Process Range will take you to the project screen, where you can select a range of points off the screen and have the Automap library apply descriptions to just those points. And finally, the OK button indicates that you are finished and closes the window. In this example, we are going to select New Library. This will clear our current library and remove all listed descriptions. We will then select Scan Database to bring up a list of all the descriptions associated with this project. In this case, there are base, curb, and garden. If we select a description and then select Edit, we are taken to the Automap editor. This screen allows you to set up what you want to have happen to every point that is associated with that description. Plotted description is the description you would like to have appear in your project next to the point. This option is defaulted to the point description, but can be changed to something unique. Selecting Plot Exact Field Description will gray out this box and automatically plot the point using your point description. If you are using the Legal Writer description, you can enter a description into the Legal Writer text field to have it appear in the Legal Writer description. In the Symbol Options area, you can choose to have a symbol associated with the description. Do this by selecting the Browse button to locate your desired symbol in the Windows Explorer window. Select the image you wish to use as your symbol and click on the Open button. You will now see the location of the symbol displayed in the symbol field. On the right-hand side, you will also see a preview of the symbol. Symbol Insertion Layer is the layer on which your symbol will be placed. This option defaults to match your point description, but you can also select a layer from the drop-down list or enter a new layer name manually. Connecting Line Trim Radius indicates the distance around the symbol that you would like to have the line work stop at. This is useful if you would like to separate the symbol from intersecting line work. Entering a value of 0 will cause the line to connect to the center of the symbol. Symbol Scale Factor allows you to increase the size of the symbol on the screen. 0 or 1 is normal, while entering a 2 will cause the symbol to be displayed as twice as big. If you select No Scale, then the option to scale your symbol is grayed out, and the symbol will be displayed to the size it was originally drawn. If you select Scale to Previous Point, you will choose 2 points that you measured in the field, and the second point will be measured back to the first point, with that measurement being used as scale factor for the description. Rotate randomly will rotate the symbol randomly so that they aren't all angled the same way. This is useful if your symbol represents trees or bushes so that they look more natural on your plot. Rotate to previous point will rotate the symbol based on where the previous point is located in the project. Clicking on No Rotation will ensure that the point does not rotate and remains with the top of the symbol pointing north. If none of these checkboxes is selected, then the symbol will appear facing north, or if there is line work connecting to the point, it will point facing the line work. The Layer and Offset Options area, by default, is set based on your labeling defaults you have defined in NavCom Survey CAD. The description will automatically be placed on the description layer, the numbers on the number layer, elevations on the elevation layer, and point on the MS point layer. You can overwrite these settings by selecting the text or node layer you wish to change, such as description, entering a new layer name into the field or choosing one from the drop-down list, assigning an X and Y axis offset, and pressing the color button to choose a color. The Line Work Layer Options area gives you options about your line work. The layer is defaulted to match the point description, but you can enter in a new layer name or choose one from the drop-down list. Line type is hard-coded to continuous and cannot be changed. The color button lets you select a color for your line work layer. If there is already a layer which matches the layer name you chose for the line work, then the line type and color will be ignored. In the Line Work Connections Options area, you will see an Automap Process Connect Points checkbox. Selecting this box will tell your Automap library to start with the lowest number whose description matches that of your point description, and connect it to the next numerical point containing the same point description, and continue until there are no more points that have that point description. You can designate whether you want this to be a 2D or a 3D connection, and if you'd like it to be a line or a polyline. If the Automap Process Connect Points isn't checked, the line work layer can still be used if you're using the Z coding, the SDR map coding, or the AIMS coding to join points based on the descriptions. The Point ID Options area allows you to add an ellipse, a double ellipse, or a rectangle around the point ID. This is useful when you are displaying many labels and want your point IDs to stand out. Once your settings for your description are in place, select OK to return to the Automap library editing system. After you applied settings to your other descriptions, you can select Save Library, enter a name for your new Automap file, and save the file. Once back on the Automap Library Editor System screen, you can select Process All Connections, or Process Range, depending on if you want to apply this Automap file to all your points or just a few of them. For this example, we will use Process All Connections. You will now see the XYZ Connection Method option screen, where you are presented with several options for connecting your points. If you are not using the Z-coding method, then it doesn't matter if you select 3D or 2D method. If you are using the Z-coding option, you can decide if you want to draw 2D or 3D lines. In this option, we will tell it to skip the XYZ method. Back on your project screen, you will see the symbols automatically appear on top of your points. Please notice how the different colors indicate the different layers that our text symbols and lines have been placed on. If you wish to make this Automap file your default file so you can use these settings over and over again, simply select the MS Tools button at the top of the screen, scroll down to NavCom System Defaults, and select Save as Default Configuration.